The cemetery was eerily silent, shrouded in a thick fog. The only sound was the wind whispering through the trees. Sophie Taylor's funeral, a 7-year-old girl, was taking place under a gray, cloud-filled sky. Her parents, Robert and Emily, stood beside the casket, their hands tightly interlaced, but their gazes lost, staring into the empty space. It was impossible to believe their little girl was really gone. But something was about to happen, something no one there could ever understand. Dakota, Sophie's German shepherd, had been missing throughout the ceremony, but suddenly he appeared. His dark fur sliced through the fog, his steps strong and deliberate. His eyes, once warm and loyal, were different now. He looked at the group and without hesitation began to walk toward the casket. Robert, still consumed by his grief, noticed the dog's presence, but it was Emily who whispered, terrified, "Dakota, what is he doing here?" No one else dared to speak. Dakota, with a focused stare, moved closer to the casket, stopping beside it. His body was tense, muscles rigid. There was something odd about his posture, as if he was waiting. But waiting for what? He gazed down at Sophie, lying there with the peacefulness of someone no longer in pain. But Dakota seemed to have something more in mind. He stood, his paws pressing against the cold wood of the casket. Suddenly, the lid shifted slightly. The wind stopped. The silence was suffocating. The people around them froze. No one dared to speak, yet everyone felt it. Something impossible was about to unfold. Dakota glanced at Sophie again, and with an unearthly strength for a dog, he pushed the casket lid, revealing the pale face of the little girl. The air grew thick, a strange sensation filling the space. Robert's hands trembled. Emily stepped forward, but was rooted to the spot. Her eyes locked on her daughter, lying there. The girl, who had just been buried, now seemed to twitch her fingers. Dakota took a step back, still not breaking his gaze from Sophie. What was happening? The people began to edge closer, but no one knew what to do. And then, the impossible happened. Sophie, with her eyes still closed, let out a faint sigh. The wind returned, and the sound of the trees swaying seemed louder than ever. But Sophie's sigh broke the absolute silence. She began to move. Her hand rose slowly, and bit by bit, her eyes opened. She was waking up. Robert dropped to his knees, his eyes wide in disbelief. Emily looked at her daughter, a mix of awe and fear clouding her face. How could this be? They had buried Sophie. They had said their goodbyes, but Sophie didn't seem scared. She was calm, almost as if nothing had happened. Her eyes met Robert's, and she smiled. Her expression serene, as though nothing was wrong, as if she wasn't even aware of what was happening. The moment of relief lasted only a second before a dark question gripped everyone's hearts. What had happened to Sophie? How was she here? Why did she seem different? It was as if time had stopped for her, and the most terrifying question of all, what had happened to the dog? Dakota stood, watching her with a deep gaze, as though he knew something no one else did. Had he done something to bring Sophie back, or was he just there to witness something even more unexplainable? The question echoed through everyone's minds. What else was behind all of this? The mystery lingered in the air, unanswered, without explanation. The story of Sophie and Dakota, the dog who seemed to know something beyond human comprehension, left everyone on the edge of an unbearable cliff. But before anyone could ask more, Sophie looked at her mother and in a soft voice said, "Mom, why are you so scared? I was just resting." And so, as silence took over the cemetery, what once seemed like a miracle now felt like a curse. Because deep down, no one knew. Was Sophie truly back? Or was something else lurking behind it all? Want to know what happens next? Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on more mysterious stories that will keep you on the edge of your seat.